What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ariel, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I just wanted to say thank you guys for all the likes, comments, and shares. Be sure to hit that like button down below and leave a comment and let me know what you think about the video. So today's video is titled My School Experience, and I wanted to share my school experience with you guys because I believe people aren't sharing their school experience enough. I don't believe that people are actually explaining how their school experience was, what they liked about school, what they didn't like about school, what do they think the school can improve on, what do they think that the school can do better at, where do they think the school fell short, where do they think that the school can have some improvement, what did they really dislike about the school, right? What did they like about their school experience? Because it's just your school experience at the end of the day. It's just your school experience at the end of the day, right? My experience has very little to do with your experience, right? For example, I went to school in a public school. I went to a public school, Nottingham High School. Then I went to Genesee Community College and Syracuse University. I'm going to start with Nottingham High School and my school experience in high school. So when I was in high school, my school experience was pretty much lackadaisical, right? It was like laissez-faire. It wasn't really much effort into my school experience because I did not put effort into my school experience. I did not take the time to try to make the school better. I thought the school was what it was, and that was it, right? The school for me was a place to hang out. The school for me was a place to go see my friends, get some food, act up. It was not like, oh, I'm gonna go to school to get a great education. Like, I'm going to school to learn math. Like, I'm really excited about math class. I'm really excited about English class. I'm really excited about gym. I was excited about baseball though. I did play baseball in high school, so I was excited about that. But my school experience was not the average, I think, school experience. I did have a lot of similarities with a lot of people, right? Like, I have the experience where everyone is like, oh, when are we ever going to use this information? We're not going to use this when we get out of high school. High school is a waste of time. I do share that with most people, but some people had a really good school experience. They liked their school hallways. They liked their school activities. They liked being, on the school yearbook. They liked the school lunch. They liked the recess, right? They loved school. And for me, I didn't pay attention to any of that, right? I was there to talk to girls, act up in class, and just hang out with my friends. That's all school was there for, whether I was in ISS or in class, right? In school suspension, I was there a lot. But my school experience wasn't totally bad, right? Now that I look back at it, I did have good times in school with my friends. I did develop good relationships with my teachers. I was, liked by the school administrators. They did find me likable, right? And I found them likable too once I put my pride to the side, once I put my ego to the side, and once I realized, I'm trying to go to college and I need to graduate. I actually buckled down and did what I had to do so that I can graduate. I went to summer school 2 years. I went to summer school my 11th grade year and my 10th grade year, right? So that is another part of my school experience. Summer school. In summer school, again, I just went to get the grade and pass and to be around my friends because most of my friends was in summer school as well. So I looked at school as a place to find popularity too, right? Because I come from a small town of Syracuse and everybody knows everybody. So if you're popular in one school, you're pretty much popular in all the schools. So that's what I went to school for, right? And I did not enjoy getting an education because I wasn't focused on getting an education. I believe if we can help each other have a good and more enjoyable school experience, we will be more likely to get good grades. We will be more likely to help change the school. I could have created a club in the school to help get better lunches. I could have created some type of organization to help students be more inspired and be more motivated to get good grades, right? I could have took that leadership role in school, but I didn't. I could have took a role of being more responsible and getting better grades and try to be a valedictorian, but I didn't. I did not put any emphasis on education. And I don't want you to be the same way. I want you to change the way you see school, right? Now, that was high school. And in college, I had a different perspective on college. College at first, I was like, I'm just here because of the girl that I was with at the time. I was just following her to school, right? So once I got into school and I actually started doing the work, I started to realize how important school was and how much it was going to affect me outside of school. I saw a statistic that said that young African American males growing up in poverty are more likely to be dead or in jail than they are to get a college degree. So I did not want to be a statistic. I did not want to end up dead or in jail. I wanted to get a college degree. I wanted to break the statistic. I wanted to break the mold. I wanted to change the way that people see African American males. And most importantly, I wanted to change the way that people saw myself. I wanted to change the way that people saw me. I did not want them to look at me and see a hoodlum, to see a thug, to see a gangster, to see someone who's careless, to see someone who's selfish, right? I did not want them to see that. I wanted to see someone who cared, someone who tried, someone who was willing to risk, being outcasted by friends and family members to succeed and achieve their wildest dreams. I wanted to be someone to break the mold. I wanted to be someone who left a legacy. So I started to look at school differently, and I started to change my perspective on school. And guess what? That's right. You guessed it. I started to get better grades. When I got away from that careless attitude and I started to care more, I got better grades. When I started to study more instead of not studying at all, I got better grades. When I started to get more involved, started to have a relationship with the counselors and the advisors at my school, and started to be in a leadership position to help other people succeed at school, I got better grades, and I was able to get a 3.6 and a 3.8 my first year in college, right? Those was the highest grades I ever got. I made the dean's list and everything. I was super hype about it, and I was very happy because I was changing the way that people saw me. Most importantly, I changed the way that I saw school. After I started to care more, after I realized that this is not where I want to be, I don't want to be a statistic. I want to be someone who breaks the mold. I want to be someone who breaks the standard. I wanted to challenge the perceptions and the view that people had on me and African American males in general, right? So once you start to care more, you'll start to have a more enjoyable school experience. You will start to realize that you have power in the school. You have power to start a club. You have power to take on a leadership position in a club, right? Like if you don't start your own club, you can join a club and be in a leadership position in that club. African American Student Union, the Cooking Association, the intramural basketball, football, whatever it is, you can start it or you can join it, right? You can take on the leadership role and start to care more about the school, start to care more about the environment, start to care more about the people, right? When I was in high school, I threw trash on the floor. I didn't care about the school. I didn't care about the environment. I didn't care about nobody else because I was careless. But then when I started to care more, when I started to care about the school, the environment, and the people there, I started to change. I started to change the way I viewed the school, right? Viewed the school. I changed my mind on the school. Right? I changed my mind. I changed the way I looked at school. I didn't look at school as a prison. I didn't look at school as a jail. I didn't look at school as holding me back. I looked at school as a way out. I looked at education as the key to opportunity. I looked at education as a way to leave a legacy, as a way to change the way people saw me. I know that if I can conquer school, if I can do great at school, then people would change the way that they see me. And not only me, they would change the way that they see my nephews. They would change the way that they see my brothers. They would change the way that they see my uncles and my fathers and strangers and people who look like me and people who come from my community. I decided to change the way that people saw me. So I changed my school experience by changing my attitude towards school. You can change your attitude towards school as well. So when you change your mind on school, when you change your attitude towards the way you look at school and interact with school, you will then start to have a more enjoyable school experience. You ever heard the saying, life is what you make it? Well, it is. Life is really what you make it. And sometimes we feel like it's not. Sometimes we feel like life is making us, right? But we are making life. We are changing life. We can change the way we view school and view life. So change the way you look at school, change your school experience. What was your school experience? Put it in the comments below. Let me know what was your school experience. Let me know if you enjoyed school, if you hated school, if you like school, if you love school. I always ask like people who went to other schools, like private schools and more affluent schools, like people who came from richer families, richer backgrounds, people who went to private school, right? I always ask them, how was their school experience, right? Because in high school, we had the popular kids, we had the unpopular kids, we had the jocks, we had the cheerleaders, we had the academic kids, we had the nerds, the teachers' pets, kids who was acting up. And I always want to know, what was their school like? Did their school do the same thing? Like in my school, most of us didn't have an emphasis on education. It wasn't important to us. Majority of the school. Then I asked people who went to more private schools and went to more affluent schools. They say everybody cared about the school. They say everybody cared about good grades. They said everybody did not want to be the student who had bad grades. That was like you was really looked down upon if you had bad grades. In my school, you was uplifted if you had bad grades. You wasn't made fun of. Well, you was to a certain extent, but you fit in. If you got bad grades, you fit in. You were accepted. But in affluent schools and private schools, if you are getting bad grades, you're not accepted. Like if you are acting out, you are not like uplifted. You are not encouraged. People are not encouraging you to go to ISS. Like in my school, people would be like encouraged to go to ISS because their friends would be there. You would be looked at as like someone who was a bad, you know what, but you'll be looked at as more likable, right? Girls like bad guys. I don't know why. It's just life. But that was my school experience. So I'm so curious as to know what was your school experience. So put in the comments down below, what was your school experience? Let's talk about it. I would love to hear from you. It's your boy Ariel. Thank you for watching the YouTube channel. And remember to check out the shop, www.arielmerch.com. Link in the description below for the book and the t-shirts. You guys have a great rest of the day. Oh yeah, I did it. I finally said, I didn't say peace.